Alright, hello everybody, this is Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So, if you remember last episode, finally arrived at Slitherbow, talked to everybody here, helped Runar with a few things, but more importantly, we were told of their little ritual where they had to gather a Jade Heartstone from one of their fallen companions. But we went out with Menphilia because we had little choice. Two Sin Eaters, one of those Angel class ones, came out, and the Blessed were too worried about heading out because they could get infected with the light and then end up being Sin Eaters on their own. Instead, we went out with Menphilia because we cannot be as easily affected, and it turns out we succeeded, so it did well. Very good, I can explain. Well, out with the Ven. Oh, I want to hear that. I want to be a part of that conversation. Thank goodness she came back. That's what I'm assuming he said. Here's your Jade. By all that is dark, you found it. You can proceed with her service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits into the sun, the sea, and the hereafter. Even should we be failed by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. I must fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend Tonia's service as honored guests. There's still much we need of prayer, but please go and inform the others it will be held in the Daka. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Now, the one thing I can't remember is, did this conversation end? No, it did not. Hydaelyn and I learned so much from Nice Blessed while you were away. We helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really needed our help. There were Sin Eaters and... I'll accompany you, but do try to be more careful. Injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... I just say a little bird told me, and it's telling me how now that Hydaelyn has business with us. Something the matter? Can't you attend the service? Of course we'll go. It's being out in the dark, is it? We'll take care not to be late, I promise. I just find it funny. Such relation to everything is going as planned, I'll join you in the darkness shortly. Between your early excursion and my patrol of the area for Sin Eaters, hopefully your stolen Eorzeans will be able to finish their work in peace. All I read in that was, let me get a quote. Thankfully, was patrolling the area and saw that we were doing this. And he stayed out to watch. Mainly just to protect, Menphilia. He probably figured our character could handle it, but he probably stayed just close enough in case she had a problem. But at least you can sit there and see that she can kill those enemies now. It means she's getting stronger. Well, the other one hands you a candle. She points you over to a nearby corner where you might place it. I got a candle, blue flame candle. Saying goodbye. Alrighty, so I guess we'll just stand right here. Let's see what these people do to honor their dead with a ritual. Oh, my elbow. Oh.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Let us begin. I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers. we entrust her now to the Knight's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
How are you supposed to see that? Look how far away we are.
We call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul onto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
The only thing that I'm a horrible human being is that like it's like your character acts shocked because they see his face glow up. In my eyes, all I see is somebody turning on a flashlight and they have it underneath their chin. It's like you don't know what was going on in that bowl.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks. The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
I should like to have met her. You know I don't deserve such reverence. It's fun to have met her.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing. Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will? Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Eorzean and I finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Oh, that was a welcoming insight. Alright, gotta get to the next stage, next stage. Got the power run. Let's go talk to Renar real quick. You might have something cool to add. I had no right to involve you in our troubles. Still, without your help, today's service would not have been possible. My blessed are in your debt. Yeah, let's see what the group has to add. Hopefully it sure has good news to share. Chance to reclaim the night has lit a fire in Ophelia that I would see kindled. She says she's gleaned from the tablet. No doubt the refined content of the tablet most informative. Oh gee, I think the Xbox gift, our next course of action is now clear. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire, and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. Time of strife and an unceasing war with neighboring nations. Each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. You think this ancient petition will somehow help us get to Eorzea? Indeed we do. For Ascians have a method by which one may prove himself an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruins protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is that I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. Possess a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations in more modern dialect which came into us after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Cydia, quite close to the in fact. Good news ends there, however, for its possession of a rather radical faction of Dark Worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. I'm studying the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. With no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nonetheless require to describe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I am afraid that I must ask you and thank you to assist me. For even asked, the answer is no. For to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything happens, should you you keep her safe. Then let us convene outside and discuss our way to whatever their place is. I don't know. For my part, I shall make all preparations that Yashola may begin translating the tablet upon her return. Take care, Hydaelyn. Got to continue on. Got to continue on. Oh, they're right outside Nito. Ow, my sinuses, they itch. They burn. They kill. That's really interesting then. So, Ronka was a very powerful empire, grew to an expansive size. But like most great empires, all it takes is you to reach a small decline in like your economics, your military, politics, something, and all it takes is that, and then slowly people can whittle you away the edges. All set. Cabinet we seek is to the north, but before we should simply rush in. President posted at Cleric to keep watch over children. Perhaps he is off to share our recent activity. We're gonna tread carefully. There's a chance we might encounter them along the way. Stay close, stay alert, I would avoid confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that doing so is to cleanse their victims of sin and usher them to sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. I mean, it's an expected thing that happens to all empires at some point, whether you like to admit to it or not. I mean, I see it like most history you look at. You look at the all ancient civilization, Rome's probably the greatest example of them all. Great empire. Large swaths of theoretical territory. Maybe not directly, but some indirectly. And people just accepted it as were the owners of it. Their empire reached political decline as their economy started to tank. Politics got worse and worse as the emperors and military started fighting amongst one another. Military itself slowly became weaker and weaker. Greater enemies with slightly better tech in terms of fast mobile use, aka the Mongols and barbarians, just broke through and slowly just killed off everything they had. And what are you gonna do? It's always good to be strong, but when you get screwed, they screw you hard. Ah, by the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had an unwelcome visit from the children. You're an acquaintance of Master Matoy then, my apologies. Children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange, what have you seen? First, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary. The usual gathering of ingredients for poisons, for flora and fauna, but then I took a notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? Could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessing, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. Perhaps we could use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nest where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nest, and we would have an opportunity to sneak into their encampment. Mischievous plan, I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Have you seen anything we might be able to use? Now we have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. And it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, like the little bit of stuff I did look in Realm was economically they weren't doing great. Politically, they're not doing great. Militarily, they weren't doing great. Like, military gains were always good because every time you fight a battle, you gather resources and you can use it to fund your economy pretty well. Eventually, they reached a point where they just sat there in peace, and their resources started to dwindle out. Same thing happens still in modern times. Because economically, I looked in a little bit, and they described the different coins that they minted back at the time, and how the quantity of silver that was inserted into the coins started getting less and less and less. It was just because they were running out of what do you call it? They were just running out of silver. The silver mines in like Spain and everything were slowly not really running out, I guess you could say, but it only lasts for so long. I don't know if being such a giant empire worked to their advantage or if it was a disadvantage. It probably increased their longevity and the impact that they had on the world, but I just don't know. It's interesting things to think about. And our countries all have the same problem. We don't use silver and gold anymore. We just accept the fact that greenbacks and just crappily printed coins are okay. Personally, I wish we would have went back. I wish we'd go back to silver and gold. I miss that. I'm glad I own some coins. So those old coins are amazing looking. I cannot believe we just don't go back to that. You actually have something to value everything on. Oh, there's less money available. Who cares? You have actual freaking value in silver. You have actual value in gold. It's like it makes more sense to have access to those things. I'm just gonna do this, that, because that'll kill off the other one. It's actually the one ability, but it works out anyway because it is dead. Yeah, because I know my brother was making mention of it for a while. He's like, hey, you might want to... Silver and gold, that's where all the money's at right now. I got my fair share of coins. A lot of commemorative coins are really cool. I highly recommend them. You get the silver ones for like dirt cheap. I think some really fantastic looking coins out there. The Morgan dollars, that's where it's at right now, bro. You able to find any? Yes. The guard returned to Silverbow, but not before offering its thanks. As for beehives, thanking our successful acquiring what we need. How did you fare? Well, you said you only wanted 2, so. It's more than enough. Children are certain to be the sleeves. Let's hurry before the bees begin to stir. Children's settlements to the west, a place called Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to Spider's Nest. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. Oh my god, do I love those Morgan dollars. Oh, they're so nice. I think the only reason I really got interested in them is because we just wanted to get coins checked one time. It's just old family members. Everybody had their coins set up, telling us how valuable they were. We did get them checked. There was potentiality, but that's the thing. You got old coins, go get them graded. Cost some money, but you might make some money if they're really good. Like, I think one of the ones we had was the year in the mint were valuable. I guess there wasn't that many available. The problem was that even though it was a mint and a mint and year that was valuable, we didn't have the grade. So that was the only disappointment we had. Although I did have one coin that I wanted graded. The grade is not great. I think it's very fine. So it's like VF rated, but it's personally my favorite coin because it's one I had from my grandfather that I found, and it's a little 50-cent piece, but I really like it. We should move quickly before any of the children arrive. Personally, favorite coin that I own. Not the best looking coin, but it's still my coin. Up there is the Airway. You see it? Yes, it's obvious. A bit far perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through, though we should probably loosen the ropes, keeping it closed. Enough that it falls open when it's landed inside. May I do the honors? Is anybody I trust that can throw that bag up there? It's sacred. I didn't get to see the yeet. That's disappointing. That should do it. Now we wait. 3, 2, 1. Bees by the abyss, they're everywhere. Help, someone help, we have to save the spiders. Sounds like our plan is working. Still, it's quite unlikely they were all drawn away from their posts. If she comes to blow the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy you stolen more time. If you want to get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Oh yeah, no problems. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Calm now, Thancred. The shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness, if you are both ready. Go on, I'll be right behind you. Okay, if I remember right, the entrance is somewhere over... You can't go that route because that's through the cave opening, so you want to head over this way and then... Yeah, I remember the first time I played this, I thought I could just go through that opening, and I found out, no, you can't. Because it doesn't really specify with this, like, where you can actually go, which is stupid. That and, like, if you see all these enemies here, literally just go... Just run on by, they won't do nothing to ya. Actually, I forget, do they actually attack you if you're in here? I actually don't remember. I think they did, but I ran by most of them. And if I did run into them, it's literally just run off ahead, they won't attack you. Like, you only have to get so far away from them before, like, the AI just, like, lose their aggression. Which by now, I assume almost everybody knows if you got this far in Shadowbringers. Bye, friend. Nice cave. Fauna Singh suggests this is a chamber of prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps some monument is further in. I would assume yes. Whoa. Okay. Looks like they're standing over some dark creature. That could be Ronkan. Oh, wait, is there another one? That looks slightly familiar. Ah, yes, this is it. That will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. Sakafar, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. But I'd like to come here a second time. It would behoove us to learn all that we can. I guess we'll start with that one and then work our way down. Scan the murals and take note of what events they may depict. You may move the camera as well and zoom in and out. Target a mural and examine it with mouse. So I vote let's head to this one. We're standing over some type of dark creature. Here appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures are surrounding the warrior rejoicing in their victory. It's like a warrior of light standing over a broken shadow. Interesting. This is it says a primitive mural. This is the Ronkan mural. Here appears to be very old. Ruler sits atop a throne attended by their subjects. Faded mural. This one does not seem nearly as... the primitive one is just stick figures. The second one is more like an Egyptian style one, or Sumerian. Not Sumerian, but Mayan like looking ones. This one though looks a little bit more modern because you see the blue light. What appears to be the mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself in their combats from encroaching darkness. The stench figure is considerably faded. Some encroaching darkness and the hero with the shield held out. Well, he's standing in front, but whoever's in the center got faded out. Looks like somebody clawed at it or scratched it.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronkan, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it, slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was, but he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends, a tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronkan, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder.
Seems like that guy took it to heart.
Rather faded, isn't it? Compared to the others. Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place.
Oh, I really like this.
Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
It seemed my strategy proved successful. Right now I have everything we need to finish the ciphering tablet. Tell me, Hydaelyn, do murals appear to have any significance? Depictions of heroes from the ancient gods of the Ronkan Empire immediately before the flood. Various observations. Perhaps in our lifetime you could be curator of antiquities, though it has no bearing on a task at hand. Perhaps that knowledge may prove to be useful in the future. That's her, so the boat. The others are waiting. After we return, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of importance, you'll be the first to know. How far away are we from there? Fair distance. I think I'll just fly most of the way there. To be honest, I think we hit 30 minutes, so we'll probably just go out back on outskirts of the town and just sit there and end the episode again. That's the one nice thing about having Arbird with us. He can give you an idea of what you're looking at because he's already been there and seen it. Although he brings up a valuable point with the one researcher. The researcher probably was like, I'm assuming it would have to have been him. He had to be the one that painted that. Because he'd be the only one that would have any knowledge, and he probably was still there even until the end. Because he probably didn't see any point in leaving after seeing the flood. Maybe he painted it before the flood actually happened as the heroes were going after the darkness that they were looking for as heroes, but funny thing being is guy maybe at the end just like looked at it after the flood started happening and tried to like erase it just in the heat of the moment. I don't know, that's why I said a lot of the Warriors of Light in this one, Arbird and his crew, like they're all seen as evil. Because they are the ones that brought forth the flood, but the thing is, like, nobody knew at the time that the flood was going to happen, so I think people were taking out their fear and desperation out on the heroes, because they're just clouded in fear and hatred and regret, you know, and you take all your blame out on somebody else. Easy to do. Why accept responsibility that maybe you all are blamed for what happened? Or maybe it was just an act of God and there's nothing you can do about it. Fun stuff. But, as I was saying, we're ending the episode here, mainly just because it's the last episode I can really record. Got stuff I gotta do, go to work, have fun. I know I'm off tomorrow, as far as I know, so I could have some time tomorrow to record. If not, I might have a little bit of time on Friday. If I still don't have time, then I'll just, accept it. But, that guys, all I have to say is this, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We come back, ladies and gents. We'll head inside Sezabo, talk to Runar, and see what all we can do. What the hell was that? Is that a... Nice blessed. Did they just spawn there? I'm assuming they did. Huh. But as I said, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.